Hey guys, Brady here, and hold on. Da, 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 da. Nah, fuck it. So I just I was looking up James Bond news about the new James Bond movie. I wanted to see if there was anything coming, um, and I came across an article that grabbed my attention, just kind of really pissed me off. So I'm gonna share it with you guys. Um, it's called "Millennials Are Rewatching James Bond and Getting Seriously Offended." Okay, so James Bond. Each movie is a product of their time. Uh, did they have some sexist slash racial themes back in the '60s and '70s when Sean Connery and Roger Moore were at the helm of the movies? Yes. Okay, but that never bothered me. I was like, all right, ooh, cool, James Bond. I didn't really care to overlook the flaws. Like, oh, this is the James Bond movie. It's fucking awesome. Or oh, this is a terrible James Bond movie. What a waste of 2 hours. Um, and there were very few James Bond movies that I didn't like. There's some are. I didn't like You Only Live Twice. I thought, um, what's it called? Was it Octopussy or View to a Kill was terrible. I couldn't get through. View to a Kill, I think, is that and Majesty's Secret Service are the only two James Bond movies that I turned off in the middle. I just like these are terrible. I don't care what happens at the end. Um, and then I really love Live and Let Die. I think Live and Let Die isn't my favorite one, but it's one I'll rewatch every now and then. Um, but people need to calm down. Like, oh my god, James Bond this, James. Let me just read you some of the stuff that people say. Is old school James Bond a rapist? Sean Connery is pretty damn aggressive. Watching old school Sean Connery James Bond movies, he's basically a rapist who occasionally murders a Russian person. Uh, how is has it taken me 28 years to realize how shit the Man with the Golden Gun is? Extremely racist. Watching Man with the Golden Gun and good lord, the fact that they thought the hyper racist sheriff character was a funny such wacky presence to bring back speaks volumes. The Man with the Golden Gun was just on TV, and damn, that was so racist. It's hard to believe it was filmed in color. And then they're talking about A View to a Kill. Actually, I've never saw the entirety of this movie, so um, if the millennials think Friends is sexist, they should watch James Bond: A View to a Kill. They will go nuts. They named Denise Richards' character Christmas Jones in The World's Not Enough just so they could use it for that cheesy line at the end. That's at least once a week, I think about the abominable treatment of the character Severin in Skyfall. She was honestly one of the most traumatized and bravest characters, and they made a huge show of throwing her life away, and she was never mentioned again. Then the next scene, they want me to feel bad for the guy who shot her. Hard pass. Um, yeah. Uh, those are millennials' points of view to the James Bond movie. They even have problems with the Daniel Craig movies. I feel like if you're gonna have an issue with an old movie, then don't watch old movies. Um, because old movies, they're a product of their time. They're gonna have some things that were okay back then that are just downright terrible to put in a movie today. Um, so if you're easily offended, don't watch anything from like the 30s till the 70s at least. You're just gonna fucking hate it. Like, oh my god, this is how did they get this pass? Oh my god, I'm so offended. Uh, don't. I mean, if you're offended with James Bond, you're gonna have a field day watching the old Disney movies. You guys are gonna get like, you guys are gonna be like, how is Disney a kid-friendly company? Those movies are terrible. Um, Dumbo, Peter Pan. That's the way they depicted Native Americans was outrageous. The way they depicted black people in Peter or in Dumbo was terrible. You those kinds of people just really irritate me. Just why do people have to be so easily offended nowadays? I'm not the kind of person that gets offended because I say a lot of offensive things because I love offensive humor, but that's just me. But people need to calm down. Um, why is it blurry? People need to calm down. It's just a movie. It's not like James Bond murdered your family and stuff like that. It's not. Um, so yeah, that's it.